Hey, it's us is Terrified here, and I've got with me today the RX-78-2 Mobile Suit Gundam. And I'm going to be building and painting this model a bit differently than I did in the future, or in prior videos, in that I'm going to be sanding and painting the pieces on the sprue before I put things together, which is technically the right way to do it. I was doing it wrong before. Maybe there is no right way to do it, I don't know. I'm also not going to be talking through the painting and building process of this model because I believe while you're watching this, you can figure out what's going on. What I'm going to be talking about instead is the Children's Online Privacy and Protection Act, or COPPA for short, which is something that YouTubers seem to be collectively shutting themselves over, and rightfully so, because it looks like a clusterfuck. And it looks like it's going to screw over a lot of content creators, myself included. And what COPPA essentially is it was a bill that was written in the early days of the internet, 1998, basically. So it's a bill that would have benefited me, but essentially states that websites cannot collect the browsing data of children without their parents' permission. Who here hasn't faked their age to get onto a site because they wanted to play Neopets? Just me? Am I seriously that old? And I'm going to go out on a limb and say something controversial here. I believe that when when parents allow their children to view mainstream YouTube, they are essentially giving YouTube permission to, mine their kids' browsing, search history, and target advertising towards them. I do believe that as a parent, if you allow your child to use this website, that means that you've essentially given the website permission to collect data, and that's just what it is. However, YouTube was found guilty of collecting kids' data, and they chose to settle with the FTC rather than get into huge trouble about it. And one of the stipulations of the settlement are rules that are now being imposed on us as creator to flag our videos as either kid content or not kid content. And the best way, it seems, to handle a video on YouTube now is to make it very much not kid content. So for me, that's going to mean dropping a couple more F-bombs here and there, which is fine, I'm off the clock anyway. Or I could start talking about insurance. I don't know. So yeah, basic internet 101, you go on a website, they've got cookies, they track, your search history, if you've signed up for an account on things and you're using your age and your location, then they can target advertising based on that. This is why I get, in my YouTube advertisements, I get Box Wine of the Month Club adverts, and my brother gets adverts for spark plugs, that sort of thing. And it does help the websites, because it's advertising, it helps the websites make money and helps them run their operations. When you're a YouTube creator and you're monetized and you've got targeted advertising because your video is not a child video, then you also get more AdSense dollars off of that, more revenue. So there is not a whole lot of incentive to flagging your video as child friendly. You'll lose your targeted advertising, obviously, so you'll lose a lot of your AdSense revenue if you're monetized. even if you're not monetized, your reach as a creator still gets scaled back drastically, because if your video is marked as a kid video, you are now no longer allowed to be featured on the front page or in the sidebar. Even if you've got subscribers, I believe your video will not appear on your subscribers' front pages, and it won't appear in the recommended sidebar, that sort of crap. Your comment thread will also be turned off, and for me, this is kind of a biggie, because if I'm doing something wrong in a model and someone watching my video knows a way to fix what I'm doing, I want to see that comment. I want to know what I can do to make my thing better. And I guess if you point out something, you'll just have to slide into my DMs. I don't know. But then what if someone else is having the same problem I am? What are they going to do? Because that comment will no longer be there. And the thing about reach and not having front page privileges or anything like that, as a smaller creator, I already struggle to get views. Building models and doing the sort of arts and crafts I do, where it's this very small scale, that is a niche thing, first of all. Secondly, my videos are not movie quality, and that was always like a barrier of entry to YouTube, is that you've got to have these super high quality videos in order to make it as a YouTuber. So you've already got to be pretty well off to begin with, basically. And now I think they've set the barrier of entry higher by saying, oh, well, if your content is possibly kid stuff, you also will not be on the front page anymore, so you're just, no one's going to see your video. That's basically what's going to happen. However, if you do not flag your video as kid-friendly, and these trusty bots from the government that they are going to use to vet every video find that your video actually is like kid-friendly, or at the very least kid-appealing, you could get hit with a fine, and that fine could be up to $42,000. And I think what a lot of people within the FTC, I think a lot of the people that are behind this mandate and this rule now within the FTC and within YouTube do not understand. Like, $42,000 is a little bit more than my salary for the year, and I'm pretty sure that it's a little bit more than a lot of people's salary. Or, it's a lot more than a lot of people's salaries from what I'm seeing on YouTube, like mostly young people. And that could be an issue. Like, if you get a fine of $42,000 per video, and so $42,000 per video, that could bankrupt someone. So that is the risk, and I think that could be a deterrent to anyone looking to get started in this venture. Anyone who wants to start videos, because now you've got, if it's kid content, you won't get views, but if it's flagged as kid content and you won't get views, but if it's not flagged as kid content and the computer decides it is kid content, then you could have to pay a hefty fine over it. The language of the bill says the operator of the site has to pay the fine, which would be the one responsible for collecting children's data, which would be YouTube, but I don't know. I think they would find a way to ban your account if they had to pay a fine or something. I'm 90% sure. So I don't know what's going to happen. And the language that they're using to describe what is going to count as content with kid appeal is so broad that is scary in itself. Like, you can't use words like cool in a video, or free stuff, or I don't know. Like, those are kid appealing languages, or ask your parents, which is fine. But subject matter as well, cartoon characters, obviously. So then what's going to happen if it's a cartoon like the ones that Film Cow does, where they are really dark? And this is like early 2000s internet, from back when YouTube was proper weird and enjoyable and not just corporate crap. Toys, obviously. And, you know, there are creators like Ashens who are not kid appealing creators. I guess his videos would be kid safe, but they're not like he's playing to our nostalgia factor. Or all of the customized doll repainters who are doing amazing work out there, and they're using all sorts of dangerous tools that kids should not be using on a doll. Or, you know, like even me, I will occasionally bust out the solvent-based paint and the hot glue and the knives, and I'm still building what's essentially a toy, but now it's getting rather dangerous. Pets. So all the vet's office channels that I used to find on the front page of YouTube, those would no longer be on my front page because animals is a kid-appealing content. So I don't know, because I don't want to go back to I was never one to blow up my vet's office phone, but I don't want to start doing that because I can't get advice elsewhere, for things that probably don't even matter. Snack food is going to count as kid-appealing content. So me and my brother had this plan to do a video where we were going to try all the weird pops from the candy store next door to us, and I don't know if we can do that anymore without flagging it as kid stuff first, and that's going to mean not having views. So I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, it all just sounds like a clusterfuck, and for a smaller creator, I'm not sure how much incentive there is for me to stick around. I do put a lot of work into these videos, even if it is just a hobby. Sitting here and editing and uploading and, talking for 15 minutes, that is a lot of work. And if I'm not able to get the reach that I want, then there is no reason for me to continue. So I don't know what the direction is going to be on my channel, or if I'm just going to yeet it at the beginning of the year. I don't know what a lot of people are going to do. I will post a link down below to where you can complain to the FTC about this. I'm not sure how much help it's going to do. I'm really not sure of anything at this point. And I think the reason that I'm not shitting myself as much as a lot of people are is because I feel that I'm in a small enough position that I can just walk away from this. So I will continue uploading through the month of December. I know that much, but for how much longer after that, I don't know. Because I feel like YouTube is going to just become home to the influencers and the late night Jimmys, and anything interesting is just going to go down the drain. So, yeah. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I'm sorry this was a bit of a downer. I hope to see you soon. Bye.